We start tonight with a question from Matt via email. Matt writes, if Satan is not omnipresent, where do you think he is most of the time? Does he attack certain individuals? How would he choose? What are your thoughts about his whereabouts? Well, I think first and foremost, we just need to recognize, that he is not omnipresent. He has limitations. He's nothing but a fallen angel. Let me say that again. Satan is nothing but a fallen angel. So he has tremendous limitations. Many times we picture a battle between God and Satan, and that is pretty much a joke. I mean, God is God, creator of all, creator of Satan. Satan is nothing in comparison with God. Satan is a fallen angel and nothing more. As to his whereabouts, Matt, that's a great question. I don't like to get fixated on the enemy because I think it's a waste of time. But, there's thousands of demons, and so each one of them is not omnipresent either. As far as where Satan is, that might surprise us. I think we tend to think, oh, well, he's over there bothering that preacher, or he's over there bothering that famous Christian over there. The reality is that Satan hates every one of us. The enemy hates children of God. Why? Well, not because we're so fantastic at our performance, but instead just because of who we are. He hates our very identity. He hates the family of believers. And so that's why it says that he is an accuser day and night. He accuses the brethren, and that could be any one of us at any time. But the bottom line is, look, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the source of the temptation. Why would the name of the fallen angel matter? Am I being tempted or accused by this one or this one or this one or this one? It doesn't matter what their name is. The bottom line is we're dead to sin and we're alive to God. And so there's a beautiful truth in that, Matt, that, the enemy really can't touch us. As I often say on this broadcast, he's all bark and no bite. So it doesn't matter which entity, which demon, which fallen angel is barking. The point is he's all bark and no bite. And the power of sin is in the world. We have to remember that too. We often think about Satan and demons, but there's a power called sin that is in the world, and that power is a source of temptation. Not every thought we get is from Satan, of course not. As Matt, you've rightly pointed out, he's not omnipresent. And not every thought comes from a demon either. Not every sinful thought comes from a demon. We live in a fallen world. There's the flesh. What is that? Well, that's the old ways to think. The old way for me to feel okay. I try to feel okay through good-looking stuff. I try to feel okay through bad-looking stuff. But the flesh is all those old memories, those old patterns, those old ways of trying to feel okay. And so those are stored in my brain. Have you ever noticed? I mean, you've got patterns to your sinning. You've got patterns to your struggles. You've got patterns in the ways that you're tempted. That's because those old ways of thinking are stored somewhere and they come up in our experience. Those aren't demons. That isn't Satan. That's just the flesh. And then, of course, there's the world. There's other people who are an influence in our lives. And then there's this power called sin, which Paul talks about in Romans 7, a parasite, a power called sin that he felt like he was a slave to. And then, of course, the message of the gospel is you're no slave at all. You're dead to sin. You're alive to God. And that's where we find the freedom, recognizing that no matter where the thought comes from, it doesn't matter. We're dead to it. If it's a sinful thought, we're dead to it. We're not harnessed to it. We're not controlled by it. We don't have to succumb to it. There is a new freedom we enjoy by being in Jesus Christ. Well, Matt, thanks for your question. I hope that helps a bit. We can't really get into the mind of Satan and know where he is and what he's doing, but I would much rather be in the mind of Jesus, so to speak, figuring out what is Jesus doing by setting my mind on him.